Alright, YouTube is going now. So, we got this brand new, it's a consignment basically, RC10, and we're going to be putting it together here. So, taking off the body, pretty much the only thing we get with this installed is the motor. So, in this stream, I'm going to try to put in the battery, obviously, the general electronics up here, the ESC and the receiver, and of course the servo. And I didn't show it in the original video, but we're going to be using a Savox. It's really weird though why this ring light's not working. Not gonna really pressing the hard flex. No switches being USB. USB. Okay, this might be okay. Yeah, it wants to work like that, but for some reason it doesn't want to work on my laptop, which is super freaking weird. Because I've been able to do almost every single stream like that. So, yeah, not the best setup, but you know, it works for what we need it to. Let me find the video real quick. Let me show you the video. Alright, so we did wire it up kind of strangely. It's basically going from there to the switch to the power strip over there. But yeah, let's get to work on this thing. Let me see, where is the Detroit? Maybe water and careful plants on water. Um, power of the room. So that's it. Jesus, there we go. That's the one that I like. Um, Alright, so I think what I want to do first is I want to put in the servo, so let me go get that real quick. So for the steering on this thing, we're one of the Savox SC1258G steering servos is pretty reliable, and they haven't really burnt out that much of it, so they're perfect for testing. Alright, so our steering servo there, let's get it all in, y'all. I'm gonna set up my other phone over here so we can do a bit of a time lapse. Okay, y'all, so sorry if I've missed any of the chat, if there was any chat. Yeah, so we also need, of course, need to get our tools. Time being, anyway. So here, flipping it over. Okay, yeah, because it has those chassis protectors on there, I'd have to take this off and put on a new one. Honestly, yeah. I wonder if I could just get away with like doing something like this. It might not be obvious. Right size. Okay, we can get to that one, but what about this guy down here? Okay, we can do it. Yeah, it's just gonna take some effort because it's pretty small now. Yeah, keep the screws right there. I'm basically gonna do the same thing on this side. Probably not the best way to get it out or in, but we really just need to use it like one time, honestly. And you know what? I might just wait to put in the servo last. I really just wanted to pull it out real quick just because I needed to have everything just to get out everything I have for it, really. Let's see. Um, so I guess we can put in the receiver first just because that's like going to be one of the easiest things to put in. I'm going to put it over this 11-gram weight. Go. Alright, that's a pretty nice sized receiver. It's not like ultra big and it's not ultra small. So receiver's gonna go right there, ESC is gonna go right there, and then the battery's gonna go in there. We'll put that in last. So I guess we can just go ahead and mount that down. Some tape. Two lines. So for it. It should be clean enough. Alright. This way, which way? I feel like it going this way might be the best option for it. Okay. So now that we got that in there, here it is. It takes oxygen. We got the receiver in. One of the most important parts, basically like the brain of the whole thing. Next, may as well get the ESC on. I know this might be a bit of a short stream, but it's not gonna be over after this. Still have stuff to get for this thing, like the wing, of course, and of course the wheels. Let's see, 60 amp ESC. Control. Getting out the fresh ESC, I think it comes out in this. Yeah, here we go. Looking pretty good. Okay, cool. This one's got wires on it already. So, I believe, yeah, the positive and the negative are there. I'm not going to be the one soldering this. I'm going to go down to Houston RC to do that. Um, Probably gonna have, well, it looks like this battery mount is adjustable, so I just kind of want to see like how big the battery is just sitting in there. And it also comes with bullets, so it's nice. Perfect, perfect, perfect size. It's a little bit floppy in there. Probably got types like stuff I could do for that. It's a little bit tall though, so I might have to put something like just underneath it, just to, or something like on top of it, just so I can keep the weight low. So, that's, you can see how big it was at least. So, not take up the whole thing, but you know. Um, oh yeah, I gotta have to be able to mount this basically to the servo, and we also need to get a horn out of the out of the toolbox. So I think I'm gonna put the ESC like this, just so, or you know what, it might be better just so I can put it. Uh, what to do, what to do, what to do, because the servo is gonna be right there. I'm wondering how big is that servo gonna be? Put it in like that. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to squeeze it. So it's basically just gonna sit in there like this, just sitting like that. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna get too terribly in the way. It's just hmm, this, because then if I have it like this, all of the wires are basically just like in the middle, and I can just put the switch like right there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because like the motor wires, which is A, B, in the middle, C. Yeah, C. These are going to be the ones that go like to the motor, and I'm probably going to get these cut down so that way they just like go straight to the motor and they just go straight to the battery, because there's no need for all the spaghettiness on here. So yeah, I think that's how I want to mount that. So I guess we can go ahead and tape it on. Of course, we need to cut that. So slap that straight into there. I'm putting it right smack dab in the middle, leaving some room for the servo. Potential bigger battery that ends up in here for some reason. Okay, so now that that's in there, this is going to be a challenge, I feel, to get that. Well, maybe not. Might have to. Shoot, I don't know. Because, like, I'm thinking, what am I going to do for this? How did he get that shit out? He used to have like a low profile, I guess. 'Cause there's no way I'm fitting that right now. That's just me. But I could, maybe, I don't know. This is just really weird. Yeah, I don't have any other chassis protectors, so I think I might have found where the screw actually is. You're right in there on that one, but I don't have to do that. I don't want to, but I think I might have to. Unless I could just like peel it off, but like, nah. How can I disassemble it like from up here? I don't think that far ahead with this. You have to disassemble it a little bit because yeah, that's not redundant. Unless I cut that shit, but then it's like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. Oops. Big fail. Not really good. Hmm. Does that come? I want to say that it does, but I don't think it does. Let's just go ahead and pop that on. Okay, I can't pop that off. Good thing is I come under here and I can just undo that right there. So F. Else deal. Move those. That was really just that big plastic bit. That's like fun. That's may as well plug in the ESC to the actual thing. Let's, which one is okay? Channel 2 is throttle. So that's going to control throttle. So that's gonna be cheap. Kind of a spaghetti type thing going on, but we'll manage that later. It's not too important at the moment. Stitch, isn't it? Okay, cool. That just takes off the whole thing. Alright, nice, nice. I think this will be enough to squeeze it in there. Be nice to know if this was like centered or whatever. Good. That's great. Okay. Gotta get that wire through there first. I got it. Great. You might have to rip off the old chassis protector to get in the servo because that is not going in. There we go. Well, I don't have to do that now. Okay, let's just simply screw this back in. All right, cool. I think that's basically all we can do, I think, for right now. Uh, as far as it's looking now, I don't really think I'm going to be able to do too much else to this because, well, maybe I can actually, because I do have my soldering iron stuff here, so I might be able to get this soldered up today, actually. You know what? I feel like that would be good to get out of the way. This is the positive one, and I believe this is the negative one. So I'm just gonna like leave this side of the build um sort of just how it is, like kind of opened up like this, and I'm gonna leave the screws right here. Because I actually, yeah, I do have like all my soldering stuff in this bag. Yeah, soldering. Yeah, we have one. Yeah, okay, fine. Cool. I think I can actually do this all myself, but really the only thing that I'm worried about is the battery not being large enough to what you call it, like just to stay in there. Because whenever it's in there, it is in there. It's just like kind of flopping around a bit. So, I mean, new race car type stuff, you know. I'm gonna do a little bit of a segment for the actual YouTube video. Alright, so we pretty much got most of the basic stuff in there. We got the ESC mounted and the receiver as well, and we even got the servo in there. It was a bit of a challenge. We had to take a little bit of it apart, but it's basically in there. I realized that I actually do have all of my soldering stuff here with me, so I can pretty much finish everything else on it for the time being. The only thing that I'm really worried about now is just the battery not sitting exactly flush in there, but I'm pretty sure I can get something to just hold it down. So yeah, that's where we're at. Turn on the time lapse. Let's see. The switch, I imagine I'm just gonna put like right there on the bottom, just so we can do it easily. Let me find. Is this negative? Yeah, that goes ABC. ABC. So these wires. So pretty much they just need to reach over here and right there. And of course with just a little bit of slack just to kind of make it nice. So right there, I may as well just do this snip just to show where I want it. Because I'm gonna get out my wire clipper. Wow, those are tough. Alright. Where are my actual bolt cutters? Because actually now I have those, not just needle those. That's good. Now we don't have to do it sloppily. Just take it right off. And now this one. Where did I cut down? Are you seriously not making importation on this one? What the fuck? See, I swear I saw that shit earlier. Alright, so cool. Negative only reaches basically to -1. Well, you could put it over there, but it'd be pretty bad if you did that. Bullets. $10 for some. So I believe what you could do with this, basically just put it on there like that, and then the idea is that you stick it into the battery, but that for some reason is not sticking in there very well. I would imagine that I need to, open it up. Can I take that off? Okay, cool. You can take them off. It's neat. Oh yeah. So putting the itty bitty one in there, and getting that one of the fatter one. Might need a bit of a smaller soldering iron for this one. Thankfully, I do have one. Let's try that. That fit. Oh yeah. Nice and tight in there. Sweet. And they have the identifying thing on there, so yeah, that seems pretty good. So, alright, and we'll get out the, like, tiny ass soldering iron, because this is a bit smaller than what we're used to working with, so, yeah, our tips, something a little bit like this, probably. I haven't charged it in a bit, but hopefully it should be good enough. And we're gonna get the sponge wet. Wet. We'll get a flux out, and we'll of course put the tip on here. We'll let that power up. Flux. Because if we could just get away with using the small one, that would be great. Because honestly, like having to plug in all that other stuff is kind of annoying sometimes. So, all right, looks like it's ready to go. So that's our negative. There we go. Got the wire bit in like the corner of the car. And we'll go ahead and use some flux. Might have to use those folder things for it because I don't think that's getting too terrible. Let me just put it on there, but it is working. All that stuff is just icky. See if I can just get away with it like this. Let's, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need those older things. So, just the place. Mix it around here. Yeah, we'll just like drop some solder in there. So it can be. I feel like I could use some flux in there. I'm not really too sure if I'm gonna get it in there. I guess I could do a little bit of this. See if we can get that in. Okay, that shit. This thing is rearing its ugly head again. This thing just doesn't get hot. I feel like I'm giving it more than enough heat, and it's not doing it. So yeah, this thing rears its ugly head again. Once again, proves to be useless. Oh well, we tried. I mean, I've tried like a half dozen times, like more than that at this rate, and it just it just doesn't work. Thing is literally probably only can only be useful like maybe with like phones, but even that's giving it too much credit, I feel. Uh, maximum temp. Make sure I have the right tip on this phone because work. Right, now we got an actual good iron. Yeah, thought I could get away with the shitty one again, but nope. No, I don't know who that soldering one was for, but it just annoys me so much. Alright, let's see. Put the perfect sized um, tip in it, so now it should now it should solder. I put it at absolute max. It's getting hot. I think it's actually getting hot as it says, as it does. All right, it's reached 800 degrees. Let's go ahead and see if this is any better. All right, we got it on there. Nice, very nice. Gonna keep that on so that way it's not the cleanest solder of all time, but yeah, you know it works. Ah, fuck, burned the hell out of me. And this is our positive. Let's go ahead and strip that off. Oh, shaking the entire universe. Okay. Need to get the pause one. Maybe that's easier. I believe there's like a little rubber ring that you're supposed to put on, maybe. Red one's still in here. Yeah, you're supposed to put that on there. I wonder if this is cooled off enough so I can just put it on there. But not as good. Alright, that's gonna need a second to cool off. I guess for the meantime I can try to put this red one on. Indicate the positive. Yeah. Good to go. Alright, cool. Got the black ring in there. Now it looks cleaner and less shitty, I guess. I believe that's how you're supposed to use those. Let's go ahead and tin this guy. Give it some flux. Wire is going to get very hot, but that's okay. I could use a different tip on this one, but very nice, very nice. And this piece, this guy will just put him on here for right now. Get some solder in here. There, let's position it. Okay. Probably could do better on that side. Okay, it's starting to melt, but I think so. It's melting, or that's flux. Yep, it melted just a little bit. It's on there. So, how much have you spent so far? So far, like 550 on it. It's pretty much all ready to go. The only thing we really just need is the wing and the wheels. I don't think we need. No one on TikTok live yet, but okay, yeah, we definitely got that way more hot than we needed to, but the point is that it works. It worked a little bit, but we're good. We're solid. And then that thing. Now we got that going on. May as well get on the. What's the best starter car for racing or just like in general? We gotta do it ABC, so we're gonna start with A. And in terms of racing, I would say that like you need to know like actually hold up, I'm gonna turn that off because we're gonna use a different bit for this part. For racing, what kind of racing are you gonna do? Because like almost I feel like every track has like their own stuff going on. It's like radiating some cheating. Might have to use some pliers for that in a second, but I'll do for right now though is I'll start to cut these up for dirt. For 10th scale, I would go with something made by like Associated like this. And if you're gonna do 8th scale, my suggestion personally would be Mugen, but I hear that a lot of people really prefer like the other brands like S-Works and like a Gamma and Techno and stuff like that. Well, for 24th scale dirt, okay, I've never raced that class, but I feel like I don't really know what's available for that class if I'm being perfectly straight with you. I'm not trying to troll, it's just like, huh, never really thought about that. Yeah, it's still hot, so I'm gonna get some pliers. Do you know what options you have for this particular class? Dude, like it. Here we go. I'm gonna use the bigger flathead piece. Low-C micros, yeah, those, I think they're 24th scale. Honestly, I would love to. get one of those. That would be really fun, I feel. Alright, this thing finally cooled off. Okay, yeah, because we're gonna need some heat for that one. I would get the low C Micro T personally, just because it's a truck, but the Micro B is also really cool. Turn that on, let it get hot. Now, tin the first motor wire. There should be enough tin. So now, what I gotta do is I gotta figure out where I'm gonna. First of all, let me. This one's really reaching. Ah, fuck. Shit, that tin really deep. Okay, I probably should have left it a little longer, but at least I'll know for these next ones. I feel like this is like a really good point where I could use like a third hand. Chamber, what does that mean? Can you try putting on a slide chamber? It's supposed to help on campers. What do you mean by chamber? Okay, I believe that actually, you know what, let me put it cleaner, that way we're not getting on to the other motor wire. Alright, cool. I'm gonna leave that on. Yeah, that's not particularly amazing, but you know, it works. So the negative goes that one basically, and the positive goes, yeah. Oh yeah, hold up. Yeah. That, hold up. Why did this get louder? Okay. I'm gonna say, is my chat broken again? It turns the wheels sideways slightly, but not too much or any. It will wreck you suspension geometry. I've never heard of it. I've just never heard of that before. Like, it turns the wheels sideways slightly. Like, huh. Like, is it really called a chamber? Like, I got to take this. Ah, shit, I should have done that earlier. And now it might be locked on. So I doubt it, though. Look at a drift car. What do you mean, like, huh, chambered? Oh, camber. Slight camber. Yeah, you can put a slight camber on it. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do that. It's the fat one. Yeah, we didn't screw it up entirely. It's just a little bit warped and melted now, but so RC go. Goes in there. That goes on here. I believe it turns on. Yep, it does. Turns on, but I'm not gonna use it yet because we don't have. And I don't have that. There's stuff in there, so it's better there. There we go. That looks a lot. That's a lot better. This time though, whenever we right cut it, this is B. That goes to B. I'm gonna give it more slack than I did on the last one, just because that shit is. That was really tight on that first one. So, oh yeah, easy. I wonder if I even have to tune that one, or yeah, I wonder if I even have to tune it if I can just put it right there and melt it on there. Yeah, for some reason it looks like it's good. They're good. Let me see if I can just get away with that. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Thought I could get away with it, but nope. I'm gonna do it this way, which is totally cool. Well, oh yeah, and then there's the sensor wire. I'm gonna, we'll do that later. Let's see this. Let me get the wire into position. Very glad that these motor wires were tinned originally. That way I really don't have to worry about it all that much. Because literally just you just put it on and it's magic. Alright, cool. Second motor wire's on and the final one. I told the guy at Houston RC that I would go there for it, but honestly, if I can just do it here, just makes it a lot easier. With transmitter, we are going to be using the Fly Sky Noble. This one right here. This guy. I've heard that they're hard to get right now, but if you can get your hands on one, that's not honestly pretty epic. Last time I talked to the hobby shop, that's what they told me, but they are really good. They're totally worth it. Alright, so the last one's gonna go on like that, so we're gonna tin this guy up. Flux on there. Okay. Stuff is toxic. Alright, now, here. Yeah, let's start in the same one. Biggest RC car I've ever driven is the X-Max. Traxxas X-Max is probably the biggest thing RC that I've ever driven. One day, maybe make a big car that's actually RC, but alright, that looks pretty good. Just clean all the shite up. Okay, so I think we should be able to now uh bind it up. Alright, guess we can go live again on TikTok. For some reason it just shut off. Yo, it cut off my live stream there on TikTok. I'm not really sure what the deal was, but now that we got it all soldered up, I'm actually gonna match with another phone for this, just because. Okay, so a little bit of a status update. We did get the battery connector on there as well as the motor wires. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to get it bound up and stuff so that way we can center the servo, we can mount that up. And then I think we should be good for electronics after that. After that, I think we really just should need the wheels and the wing. So yeah. So, okay, so um, need the bind plug. Don't need the soldering stuff in here anymore, so I guess we'll this is trash. I'm not really sure where that bind plug actually went. I might have lost that. Let's see, Raminator truck. Yes, I have. I would love to play with one of those. I just don't know if anyone has one. I believe they're like 5 grand or something like crazy like that. Um, where did I put that going? Yeah, it might be under here or something. I also do need to get the sensor wire onto the motor. That might be something that we might need to worry about. You can run it without a sensor, it just won't run as good. Zip tie there. Um, yeah, I think I might have lost the bind plug, but I should have more. Yes, here we are. I always have at least. I try to keep them all, but if I lose them, really whatever type of thing. So bind. One for bind. Let me actually get this flux out of the way too, because we really don't need this anymore. And we can turn off the solder. That cool off. We'll put it in the bag. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining the TikTok stream. We were just live a second ago. We just got kicked due to the inactivity. So you know, solder away as well. May as well plug it up and get this bind process underway. Even get a plate in with this. So that way when we turn it on, we can then model move files. Oh, man. Let's see. All right, let's start the bind now. And just like that, it's ready. Yep, motor works. Freaking awesome. Channel 1 is going to be for the steering, so channel 1 is right there. Put that in there. Put it on 0. Now that it's like loose, we can get in there if we need. But let's go to the steering horn. Goes with the goes with the blue aesthetic. Not entirely, it's not like the same blue, but looking pretty good, I would say. I don't think, yeah, I'm basically gonna have to take out certain again. It's gonna go across like that. Yeah, so let's just go ahead. I'm not even sure if I can get it out. I got it in. How long have I been into RC? I've been in it for more than like 10 years. I think it's been like 11 maybe now. Okay, it doesn't look like that's gonna come out very easily, so now that it is centered, I'm gonna try to put that in there without having to take it out, but I'm honestly kidding myself here. Is even the same spline size? Like, I'm kind of curious if it is or not. It's not going on. It's not going on. What is the problem? It's what the spline says. Fortunately, some fellow reason. Balance. Okay. I think might be able to get away with one of these because it's actually 25 tooth. It's not gonna go with the whole team associated look, but it is fine. So let's try to get that one. I feel like that's gonna be too tall though. Just remember, yep, it's gonna be too tall. We got one more option in there. There's one more like a little black metal steering one in there. Really good shoot. No, it's too big. Oh wait, there it is. That should work just. It seems like it should work. I'm gonna turn it off now. Turn it back on just so I can make sure that it's. Whoops a daisy, forgot that I left the thing in there. Sweet. Alright, that looks like it's about as straight as I can get it. Can never get these things perfectly straight on. Uh, Might have to get like an L wrench to get that servo horn on because I think we have a screw that'll work. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. How the hell am I supposed to get anything in through there? So it's already on there as straight as we can get it. Let me see if I can. Just we got it like that. You don't need that L wrench anymore. Screw it in. No. On it. Sorry, servo. Not ever coming out again. Cool, cool. Scoop it back through. Okay, so it seems like that's where I want it to be on, and I'm gonna have to use a separate bolt. So yeah, to get that in, basically, yeah. A lot of bolts, a lot of screws, a lot of stuff going on. Yes. Doing that, but okay. We got it on. We got the both ones. Now what we can do is I'm actually gonna put this blind plug out so I don't lose this one too. Sure it'll be useful for the future. Okay. So I believe what I can do now is I can reassemble this, put that back down as well. I'll actually start with this bolt just because it keeps the whole thing together. These two here. So and I will be cleaning up these wires. It's just in the build process, you know what it's like to have a lot of wires. And we didn't have to take off the chassis protector because I don't have another one. Yes, yes. See, I'll street this. That feels good. That feels right. Um, let's go underneath. Reattach these. Do this. Attach it first time. Click it in pretty easily. Put that down. Well, alright. That's the range. Setup isn't gonna work. The horn is just too tall and too fucking long. clearance for it. How are you on? Let's see if I have anything else, because I'm not. More difference this year. Good, more. Good work, but wait, it's still too tall. I feel like it's not gonna like. I feel like it's just not gonna work because if it's that much just to clear the one side. Glad I didn't put all the other screws back into it because then that would have been an absolute nightmare. Still already going to be a nightmare just because the steering setup is so fucking annoying. Hey, nice, 1,000 likes on TikTok. Appreciate it, y'all. Hello. Sorry, haven't really been paying attention to it. Mostly been paying attention to this. So annoying. All right, well, guess we could try the other horn, but we're just gonna have to disassemble it again. Steering horn on freaking RC10. Let me actually look it up on my computer real quick. RC10B7. Like what is with the steering setup? Why is it so compact? Like I can barely see that. Open it. It's just like super low profile. This one right here is from like my old Losies. Hello everybody in the TikTok chat. Appreciate all the likes, guys. Don't really get that many views here on TikTok, especially on mine, but it do work. This is annoying. I'm definitely putting it on the correct side. It's just like just going to take forever. I feel. Um, yeah, God, freaking. For some reason, this thing is not like. Is that not 2 millimeters? I feel like it's stripping out. All right, I'm gonna have to double up on the pliers now, since that screw is just stripped out. Great, great. Great. Rest. Alright, doubling up on this. Even though it seems like an impossibility. Can I just take this off? Hey, 2,000 likes. Not bad, y'all. Freaking on. Hate having to use this much force on it. Like it's an actual car or something, but damn. Damn. God damn. How fucking tight is that shit, dude? Ooh, this is fucking workout. Like, Jesus. Yeah, that is a pain, man. Like, that is, ugh. Why is it like that? Why is this stripped out? It's not even stripped out. It's just, I don't know. I wonder if I put it on like this would it work. Kind of doubt that. Probably won't. All right, let's try to get out that servo again. God, if it wasn't for these freaking chassis protectors, I wouldn't be doing this right now, dude. Why is it not coming out? God, what is going on? Why won't it come out? Come out, out. Oh, it's because it's stuck. This is seriously like one of the most annoying 10 scale buggies I've worked on, and I've worked on a low C. Good grief, this thing is giving me hell right now. So, let me just trick it again. There we go. Okay, so that steering horn, I really hope I didn't just fuck up the receiver.
Welcome, Noble.
Sweet.
Power off receiver first. Shutting down.
Alright, not mean to bend and lose like that, but it's a bend now. Um, Let's see how much shorter the other one is. If it's not any shorter than a metal. Okay, it could work.
Welcome to New.
Let me just make sure that it's centered. It's gonna be get it on there as perfect as it can. Actually, looks like the perfect angle. It's about as straight as we're gonna get it. It needs a countersunk screw though, and I don't want that immediately. Let me go check and see. What's the most likely you've had on any platform? Probably here on TikTok. Sorry I didn't answer that earlier. Hopefully this will be good enough. Where is my 2 millimeter? Let's see what it is. Looks like it went in pretty good. That's all I pretty much need it to do. It's just stay in there pretty well. So I am curious to know if this is even going to be good enough because this associated is pretty demanding whenever it comes to servo specs. Needs to be like, I think this one might be the winner, y'all. I'm not entirely sure about that yet, but it looks like it'll go on pretty well. Go ahead and get this tough stuff out of the way first, because I know it's going to be a problem later. Right, that seems pretty on. Can't see that coming off anytime soon. So let's go ahead and reattach it. I am praying to God that this worked because if it didn't, there's going to be really annoying. At least it's easier on two-wheel drive because on four-wheel drive, well, actually, I don't know. I feel like I just haven't worked on two-wheel drive steering setups as much as four-wheel drives. You with that. Looks like there might be some conflict with that. Might have to cut out some plastic, potentially. Ah, that completely crushed my freaking. Looks like it'll work. It's just like this horn is just a little bit too tall. Like it's just a little bit too tall for it. So I might like shave that off. Shave a bit of that plastic off there. Okay, let's reattach the first screw that I had on there before. And I think we're running into the same problem. Maybe. Nope, wait, I don't think we are. My lord. Why is that not coming out? Why is that screw not coming out? Oh, it's on a rotating freaking piece of plastic. I'm gonna have to get kind of handsy with this, y'all. Sorry for going off camera, but this is actually kind of insane what it wants me to do right now. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take off the other side of it because it's one of the biggest. It's not one more. It's screwed up there. So, pull that. Okay, okay, okay. Back on camera, back on camera. Um, yeah, it's just simply not gonna work. There's this horn is just way too big. Like it can steer, but it's just too big. Or what I could try to do is I could take out like these little like rubber pieces. There's really not that much flex going on. So I might have to take it apart again. Taking this thing apart so many damn times at this point. Fuck. God damn, this thing is fucking annoying. Like, I wish I could just cut it straight out, but I can't. I have to take it apart. And I wish I could just go underneath and take out those two screws, but again, that would require to rip off this, and that would be even more work. So, it's super annoying. Like it could totally fit. It could totally fit right now. But I don't even know if it was just if it was back anymore. Like I feel like maybe I can get it out like this. There we go. Got one out. The other. How much further back would it put it? I think this could actually work. I think I can get away with it without taking it apart. If I can, awesome. Here we go. It's one way to get it out. And then get it right off. Really just because the freaking bee trees on that side. There we go. Alright, got all four of them out undamaged somehow. So, I believe it can go back just a little bit further. Oh my god, that completely cleared it out. We're gonna have to do something about that right there. Might have to Dremel it, but I don't think I have a Dremel with me, so yeah. He's in there was stuck. Oh my god, this is such a compact like area. Like, oh my god. Let's see if we can just snap it. This. It's easily able to steer all the way one way, but not all the way the other way. So we're gonna have to cut that out. The knife here, so get to carbon, yes. A lot of plastic trash after this. Definitely isn't the proper way to do this, but you know, if it works, it works. That in order to completely clear one way, it's also going to need adjustment on the radio as well, but in order for it to clear over there, okay, we got that first little part done. We just need to clear out a shit ton of plastic right here. Phew, ridiculous. Oh, this would be so much easier with a Dremel. Like, I don't have a Dremel or anything. Like, shit. This is tiring me out. I'm just do this in the meantime. Just gonna put these on. Where is that? Really? Let me get like a two one. There. Switch. Ball joints. So should be able to do an angle and do it. There we go. It's going in. Time being, I'm just gonna get two in and then go back to carving it out. So this thing is a lifesaver. Yeah, we really don't need those rubber boots for this servo because this thing is just really demanding. It's almost big enough. It's almost just clear enough. You just need a bit more plastic off of it. It should be able to pass through. So let's get more care up in there. It's all it needs, actually. Yeah. Well, let me clean it up at least a little bit. Didn't have to take too much off. It's able to fully extend that way. It's able to fully extend the other way. Yes! Oops. A bit. What? TikTok, come on, let me continue the stream. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's turn it on again. We got motor power, and we're gonna have to set endpoints, so let's do that real quick. Endpoint for the steering on the left. I guess we can just keep it all one way and then we'll go down with it. Good for left, and then for the right, it's pushing a bit far. So full extension is like there. All right, cool. Now it steers. It steers. Hell yeah. Now we got the thing steering. I think all we need to do now for the time being is just kind of organize these wires a little bit better. Motor wires I'm probably just gonna zip tie together using that zip tie came with. Freaking awesome. It's smooth steering. Go all the way one way left. Just go all the way to the right. Quick and sweet. Okay, let's turn that off.
Shutting down.
Alright. This zip tie I'm gonna put on the motor wires just so I can separate them. Oops, that way. And of course, we should get on the rest of the servo screws, so we'll do that right about now. I'm not sure how long we've been live for, about 2 hours. There we go. And last one. These things are fuzzy, bro. This thing is a literal puzzle right now, man. Oh wait, it's already on the bottom. Hold up, what am I doing? That's why it feels like a damn puzzle. But I can't get it in the hole. Get in there. There we go. Sweet. That's fully in there. All right, let's go ahead and sort of clean up the wires and plastic shaving bits everywhere, but it's all good. Um, wonder if this thing came with any other zip ties. Came with one more. We're gonna use these. Use these two. So we're gonna use this one use it for this little wire mess over here. I'm probably gonna have to get another transponder for this at some point. But we'll get to it when we get to it. Missing the sensor wire, but that's all right. I believe we could get one at Houston RC perhaps. Okay, that should do it for the time being. It's not a permanent solution. It's just something that we can do for the time being. And the switch, I will just kind of leave hanging, honestly. Don't really want to mount that down yet because I still need to get a good transponder location and I don't want to take it up. So, yeah, don't worry, we don't just doing it. So, okay. Thank you everyone for tuning into this stream. We got pretty decently far on it. Only things we really need to do now, technically, to get it going, are the wheels and the wing. And of course, we need to get a transponder and sensor wire as well. But those are kind of the more technical bits of it. So thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. All right.